Mama, oh, mama, oh, yeah. Mama, oh, mama, oh. Mama, oh, mama, yeah, yeah. Mama, oh, mama,
Okay. Two more questions.
Yeah.
How can you help other people interested in storytelling?
Well, what we do is we build story. I build a story based on facts that are scientifically proven. So, as a storyteller, you are some kind of scientific broadcaster, because it's not just about doing fiction for fiction. As you may know, in Africa there's not such thing as entertainment. Storytelling is edutainment. So you educate people while you entertain them, or you entertain them for them to pay attention to the real information you're sharing. And for example, I'll talk one example. I'm saying this because we're in London, so I want people to do further, to carry what we're saying here further. If you go to the British Museum, you will find that it is the most visited object of any museum in the world. It's called the Stone of Shabaka. The Shabaka stone. So it's right at the the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is right at the entrance of the British Museum. But I will forget about the Rosetta Stone. It tells a lot of stories. But I will take one. There's another stone. It's called the Shabaka stone. Shabaka stone is actually a written document, because you will have heard at some point they say, oh, Africa has no history, no story, because somebody discovered they didn't write, so it was only oral story in Africa. But all that is very funny when we have proof of written story really next to us. So you find the Stone of Shabaka. It is actually one document on which important information is written, and people just walk past and take photograph, but never question what is really written on it.
Never understand it.
And when some people have tried to translate or transcribe decipher it, they have tried to undermine the meaning or the words that are written on it. And yet this is a written philosophical and theological document that shows the foundation of Kemet philosophy, ancient Egyptian philosophy. Like people will say, oh, there was no philosophy in Africa, so they've never really done anything that is important for the world. I just want to call anybody to go, find the document, find the Stone of Shabaka, see the transcription of what is written there. There's some German translator who were quite honest, who said this is, they call it the theological philosophy, but no, it is a philosophical and theological document. Because on it is written one of the most important and the very first philosophical concept of the origin of our world. So this document gives the concept of what is called in ancient Egyptian language, which is called Medu Neger. It has a concept of Sept U. Sept U. It is the Great Advent. You know, We'll soon get to the what we call the Advent calendar, December. The Advent calendar that we practice here in the West.
Pagan.
Well, it's a Christian practice. Like the Advent calendar is the calendar towards, because Advent is an event that is unique. It's the event that is unique. So it means the beginning. And this unique event it doesn't happen twice. It happened only once. So how did our world start? That is what it's about.
Okay.
So the Great Advent is about how our world started. And that is a philosophical concept inscribed on the stone of Shabaka, developed in the philosophical schools that existed in what we call ancient Egypt. And it is very elaborated, and it talks about what was there before, the concept of noon. These are philosophical concepts. I'm saying this so that people can come and research. You know, when we say, oh, people say, oh no, there was no philosophy. Philosophy started with ancient Greece. No. Use the same tools that is scientifically accepted to define whether philosophy exists in a place or not. Use the same tools, these are scientific tools, to judge what we're talking about here. So to define that philosophy existed in Greece, or in France, or in America, or in China, the 5 different tools. 5 questions. First, what was that philosophy called? What was the name? Was it a language to qualify that? The language. So, were there schools where, well, language and concepts, right? So if you talk about concepts, you will talk different concepts, existentialism, that can qualify French philosophy and so on and so forth. So in ancient Egypt, you have those.
Okay, what's the second?
So second concept is, were there schools? What were schools called? Where did they, or where can we find them? The proof of those schools, right?
Well, third.
Schools of thought, right? Thirdly, were they teachers? What was their, what is their name? Scholars. Were they philosophers? Yes, they exist. The third one, were they students? Who were the students?
That's the fourth.
That's the fourth. Yes, they exist. Now the last one, after students, were there documents written by these philosophers? Were there books? Yes, they exist. Can we find them? Yes, a lot have been destroyed, but we can find those documents, those books in different museums, thankfully, in the Western world, starting with the British Museum, which is not far from us.
Okay.
I'll give you a few tips. Philosophy in ancient Egypt was called Sebite. And there was a language for it. Like in any country, philosophical language exists. You don't just use any English when you speak. You use scholarly accepted language to speak. When scholars speak, when philosophers speak, they speak in a language that other philosophy can connect with. You can't speak in slang, for example. And in ancient Egypt, you had that. You have the Medu Neger, which different levels, and you have levels that was used for that specific model of science, and it was called Seba. It was actually qualified like the science of sciences, that is Sebite, because you have science as well, which is not so philosophy. Even in the West, they say philosophy is the mother of sciences. Okay. Right? In Egypt, science is called Seya. You know, the knowledge, the profound knowledge of things. But Sebite is the knowledge of the origin, of the source of everything. The knowledge, the attempt to understand mysteries. Not mystery in terms of religious, but it's like a rational effort to understand and explain things. And One of those things is, for example, where do we come from? So, Sep-U is one of the concepts. The Great Advent. They explain that. Schools, philosophers, you have many, and we still have their writings. You have Ptahhotep, you have Amenemope, you have many of them. You can find them in museums.
Okay.
And then you have schools were called Pe-Ankh. These were places where these were taught. And you have students, and for students, very easy. The students themselves, who are claimed to be fathers of Western philosophy. You have Aristotle, you have Aristotle, as I said to you, he went to Egypt, that was later on. But before him, Plato says he studied in ancient Egypt for 19 years. And his teachers are there, it's written. You have, who else? There's so many. You have Pythagoras. Pythagoras learned what he taught, even curiously, what we call here the theorem of Pythagoras. There was no such thing as Pythagorean theorem. The theorem, what we call the theorem of Pythagoras, is found on a mathematical document that still exists, that we'll find in the museum. So the stories are right, links these things to make people go find. So this theorem was written 3,000 years before Pythagoras was born.
Okay.
But yet you see in Western documents that theorem of Pythagoras. But the good thing is it has been kept. But the best thing is we can find it written black and white on documents that preceded this specific philosopher, and you have many.
Okay. Can we go through quickly what you said about Africa, with the old word name for Africa?
Yes.
Just quickly talk about that.
Yes, it's you know, the thing is, when you go somewhere, you have your own perception of the things you see, and you can have your own interpretation of what you read. So ancient, what we call ancient Egypt, the people who live there. So just to say, I'm saying this because there's a lot of misconception, or there's a lot of derogatory narrative about Africa. And sometimes people, even people who have very good intention, sometimes have the wrong document, and they don't know these things exist. So by saying this, I'm just saying to people, look, Africa is not just war and misery and famine, and it's not just corruption and killings and apartheid and all that. First of all, Africans are just people. Not best, not worse, just people that you find everywhere. Secondly, they have history, and they've done great things that can enrich what you originate, and maybe that can help you have a better understanding of the world. That can shape your own reading of the world that we live in. So what we call ancient Egypt is Kemet. Kem equals black. Kemet means the land of the black, which is the people who live there. And the people, there's no single pharaoh. All the pharaohs that you see, there's not a single one who was white. They were all black. So pharaohs existed long before you had any rule of somebody of non-dark skin. So the result of white skin that you have now is just a result of successive conquests. And one thing that I will say is, when Alexander the Great conquered ancient Egypt, after beating the Persian, who had been trying to conquer for a few centuries without succeeding, he was so impressed by what he found in ancient Egypt that he had himself, Alexander the Great was a Greek emperor, right? Talk about a white Greek emperor conquering a country of black Africa. And then what he discovered was so big for him that he humbled himself and had himself crowned a pharaoh, and requested specifically that when he dies, he shall be buried in ancient Egypt like a pharaoh. And unfortunately, when he carried on to conquer, because he wanted to conquer, carry on in the east to conquer China, he was killed in the combat. Because what happened is, after conquering ancient Egypt, he was there ruling for 10 years, and then because of the concept that his preceptor, his educator, who was Aristotle, the Western philosopher that is known to have invented a lot of things, which we can talk about on a different occasion, accompanied him in those campaigns. But he was killed in the combat and was buried as a pharaoh. So he was humbled by the things that he found there. But when he went, he left his general, who is the person who was a great geographer, the general Ptolemy, Ptolemy the First. Ptolemy the First then was another Egyptian, ancient Greek, who carried on ruling. So it was Western, a Greek ruler who carried on after Alexander the Great left him, carried on ruling. And so that's why you will see Ptolemy the First, Ptolemy the Second. So the Ptolemy carried on after that. And then after that, when the Greeks were conquered by the Roman came in.
Okay.
And you see it is connected even with the Western religions, the big religions that we see today, like the Catholic Church and the change in the name. There's so many things. You can go even in certain things like concept of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I say concept because it's a philosophical concept within the ancient African philosophy. People claim that Jesus, that's one of the things you find in those documents. I'm not inventing anything here, so you can go find the documents. You take, for example, a book that is the Book of Resurrection, which is mistranslated as the Book of the Dead. It is at the British Museum. You can see part of it in a museum in Italy or at the Louvre. You will see a specific phrase that mentions Christ. It's a quote. Your name is Christ. Written 3,000 years
Before Christ was born.
the Christ that we know. And another thing is, people, it is said that Jesus Christ was Jewish, right? He was a Jew. But in the Jewish language, in the Jewish culture, there's no such name as Jesus or Christ. Because one of the most important science, more important than philosophy, is philology. It's called philology. So philology is not etymology. Etymology is like you learn the origin of words and names. But philology is the study of the history of names, right? The history. So when you want to know something in depth, you need to know the history surrounding that thing. So when you study the history of the word Jesus, so if I give my name, for example, when I say Kuwasu, automatically you cannot say it's English. You will say
It's French.
It's African, maybe French, or it's not French. If I say, let's say something that will connect with, people can connect with easily here. If I say Smith, that is probably English or Irish, I don't know, or we are say Macaulay, Irish, right? So there's some connection there that need to be researched, but definitely not African. So names, the study of names using like philology will tell you where the name comes from, and names are connected to history. So based on that, you could say if Jesus did not exist in the Jewish language. How come people claim that he was a Jew?
Oh, okay, right. Where's that
should
come
ring
from?
some bells. So people should go search further. And if you go on a document that is still kept here, I'm not talking about something in the cloud. I'm talking about something that you can find at the British Museum. The book that is called the Book of the Dead, but the real translation is the Book of Resurrection, because resurrection is a concept that people still think is a Western concept. No, it is a concept that is in the ancient Egyptian philosophy, and it is connected to what we're calling Jesus. And in ancient Egyptian language, it is Uzi. Uzi, when you do the study of Jesus, you do the philological study. The very origin of Jesus is Uzi, right? Uzi, which talk about the person who came before, the great envoy of God, and Christ. You can find it on that document that say your name is Christ inscribed there. So we're talking about the same Jesus Christ. Yet it is claimed by the Bible that Jesus was born the first day of the first year, dating just 2025 years ago. But now I'm talking about a name that is written somewhere and that talks about the same concept of somebody who died and come back to life. Uzi, that's what it is. So Uzi talks about the concept of this God or semi-God who, when you kill, he comes back over and over and over. So he's never dead. And you can find it written on a document that is called the Book of Resurrection, but that is named the Book of the Dead. Go find out, do your own research. We're talking to your audience here. So this concept is to mention, I've mentioned all this just to say that the storytelling that we do is not based on such, well, there's no story that is ex nihilo. It's created based on things that exist, but that will help people learn more about themselves, know about where we come from, and maybe change some people, and maybe help some people to do more good in the world.
One more note. What can you give as advice or a metaphor to people who want to know about storytelling or wants to listen to a storytelling for modern day times, or to bring it so they can learn what is now? Just a short few words.
Well, the great thing is that everybody can tell a story. Everybody. You can tell. We tell story every single day, every single hour, every single minute of our life. Now, you can use that story to help people, or you can use it to harm people. Our goal is to help to change some of the narrative that have caused so much damage in the world, and in particular to the black people, to Africans in particular, including the narratives that are used in educational institutions that make other people resent others, because what people don't know can only create some kind of repulsion or fear. But it's not intended to, when you tell a story, it's not intended, well, from my perspective, it's not intended to use the same thing as the others, to say we fight for this. No. We try to say we shared a light in the past to clarify our present. When our present is clear to us, right, we can move into the future with more confidence, with more
Clarity.
with more solidarity. And we can work towards a better future for all of us. Because what false narrative brings is that we engage in self-destruction. Because look at what our world is becoming. Because we run after everything's
False information.
yes,
False information. False beliefs. Well, not
exactly,
beliefs
exactly.
and
Yes, false belief. Yes,
and gossip.
that can cause a lot of bad things. So what I'm saying that is, in the end, we are all interconnected, and anything that we do to the others will come back to us in one way or the other. And we should always be humble and know that we can learn. That's what stories do. We can learn from each other. That's what stories do. That's what storytelling is about. Every single person has a story, and we can learn from each other. And just to say, one of the number one maxims of one of the ancient Egyptian philosophers called Ptah says, "May your heart not be vain because of what you know. Take advice from the ignorant as well as from the wise man. For no artisan has ever mastered perfection. The perfect word is as rare as the green stone." So that is from the Tao Te, 4,000 years before Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And that principle is still important to our world of today. So we can learn from anybody. Because one of the greatest mistakes is to think that because nobody can know everything. You can only know a lot of certain things, but you still can learn from anyone. And as I say in some of my stories, when I say kele kele, you say tata. And kele kele,
Tata.
kele kele,
Tata.
when I say aya aya, you say ya. Aya aya.
Yeah, yeah.
Aya aya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ye gata kungaga for mahala. Tenga santun san sun suga. You respond,
Ah.
that's good. Yeah. Don't let anyone make you feel smaller. You are a hero in your own right.
Okay.
Yeah. No matter how long the road may be, always enjoy the journey. That's it for now.
Where can they find your work, your book, or
Well,
to meet with you?
Yes, you can find me online. You can find me, go to my website, charlesquasse.co.uk, or go to my other website, africanexperience.co.uk. And let's share stories.
Okay.
And if you find yourself fancying becoming a storyteller or working on same material as us, you're welcome to contact us. we work with other storytellers who wants to use African techniques to spread the word, to share stories, and to make the world a better place for all of us.
Okay. Thank you. What? Upawut.
Yeah, Upawut.
Charles Kwaso.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor and very grateful.
Mama, 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 mama,